There is an item which I believe is the most broken item in NetherGames Bed Wars, and I'm not the only one claiming this. This item is the fireball, and it's extremely broken when it comes to using it. Today I'm going to explain the basics and some of the more complicated reasons that it's so broken, and how could it be fixed. First, you need to understand what a fireball can do and what the point of it is. The point of a fireball is to be able to make players take damage or blow up a bridge/bed defense. This item can be a huge help when it comes to killing a player, but I think it's flawed on how easy this item is to use for how good it is. The price of a fireball is 40 iron, which seems like a pretty high price, which this can be true, but a player who camps at their base from the start of the game, you can find players like this having a ginormous amount of fireballs, which can be very frustrating if you're trying to get them, but they just repeat the same thing over and over by throwing a fireball and using little to no skill to hit you off. And if they have more than one fireball, well, you're pretty much done. And the chance that you do survive, you will probably have low HP from all the fireballs doing so much damage. Next, I will talk about my experience in the games lately just to explain how broken fireballs are, in my opinion. So it's not every game, and sometimes it also depends what time I queue at, but often enough, I'll go into 3 games in a row being stuck with one other person left that will just camp at their base and spam fireballs at me. And they won't even try to get my bed till it seems like almost like 3 to 10 minutes later. And this can be extremely frustrating to an average player if you're just trying to have fun and get some wins. And even if I start trying to fireball them, I can't because they're just camping at their base, so I can't knock them off easily. To be fair, I used to fireball people quite often, nowhere near as much as some players do now though. And over time, I've realized how broken this item is, which caused me to stop using it unless a player already fireballed me. Sometimes I'll decide not to do that, even though it still gives them a giant advantage. I overall just don't use them because I don't think it's fair if I'm not getting fireballed by them. I mean, I might as well not use an item that anyone with only basic aiming skills can use easily and kill almost every player. I also from time to time see well-known players using fireballs, which can be annoying, but most of the times these players only use 1 or 2 a match, which still might not be fair, but it's still better than spamming them the whole game. This can still be very annoying, and I don't think it makes it that much better anyways, but obviously it still does a little bit. Not too long ago, there also was an issue when they added fireball jumping, which I think fireball jumping on its own isn't an issue at all, and it's a nice way to make fireballs more useful in a way that doesn't make them annoying. But the issue was if you happen to throw a fireball at something, they would get a massive amount of airtime as if they were fireball jumping, and it would also make them take huge amounts of fall damage, which could make an already somewhat broken item even worse because you could one-shot someone with a single fireball, even if they were standing on a safe area. From what I know, this issue is fixed now, which is amazing. But anyways, now what could NetherGames do to easily fix this problem? I think many things could be done, but some of these might not have a good impact as they could be very risky decisions. Some changes that could be put in place to make the problem not quite as bad could be making fireballs cost a larger amount, preventing people from getting tons of them, which makes me not feel as bad as I had to work harder for it and only a limited amount would be used per game. They could also just mess with them so they couldn't kill you quite as easily, but the problem with these first few points is they might be too big of changes, and obviously people don't like change at first, which brings me to my final points. I think the best option could be a system that allows you to either buy or throw fireballs so often, leading to a player not getting a ton and spamming you. There could be a timer that goes from anywhere to 30 seconds to a minute or even longer, which I think a minute would be a fair amount of time. While I agree, lots of players will hate this change, I just think it makes the game overall more fair while still keeping the original ideas of how everything works in Bed Wars, and not trying to mess with that too much. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next video coming next week.